Hello, my name is Terry Taylor. I'm the auto collision instructor here at Chippewa Valley Technical College. The Technical College here, we have a one-year program, and it's a full one-year program. The students start in August and they run all the way through summer and graduate again in August. One of the first things I'd like to do is thank the Education Foundation for everything they do. Melissa and her group does a great job of getting us products, equipment, things like that help us improve. I think this year we are going to obtain the Tier 1 school certification. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a one-year program. We have a first semester, we have a winternship where we do an internship during the winter, and then we have a second semester and we go all the way through summer and graduate again in August. In our first semester courses, we have the non-structural repair. We also have a paint technology class. They also get the ICAR welding class and a related auto electricity class. So between first and second semester, we have a winter term, and we have the internship during that winter term. The students go out and it's a one-credit program or course, and the students go out to shops. They have to go out to 2 different shops throughout their internship and work at those 2 different shops over the winter term. They get on-the-job experience. They work full days just like they're going to have to once they graduate. And I really think it gives the students an opportunity to see what it's going to be like to work in a collision repair shop before they actually graduate and get out there. Second semester or spring semester, we have estimating class. We have the lab class again, of course, and then they do have a communications and math class where they do learn how to write resumes and work on their math skills and things like that. Once they're done with the second semester, they have a small break and they go into the summer semester. And the summer semester is an 8-week semester where we have our related mechanical, which is taught by the mechanics program here at CVTC, and we have our lab again. And during that process, they're finishing up doing, in the advanced collision area of doing the framework, some more of the refinishing and things like that to complete the summer semester prior to graduation. So right now we'll take you out, show you the shop, give you a shop tour, and let you know about the equipment and the things that we need for the grant. So let's go take a shop tour. This is our shop. We have a down-def bake booth that we're putting into the budget to try to get through the school. The school is actually talking about doing a transportation center sometime, and if that happens, then we would definitely be able to get the new booth, because it is, as you can see, getting fairly old, but it still works very well. We also have a curtain wall booth that we do some priming and stuff out of. Behind that is our paint mixing systems and so on. We do use Exalta paints. The students do get the opportunity to spray water-based and solvent-based paints. We also have a cross-flow booth that we can paint out of. We try to do some other parts out of it, and it works very well for that. The curtain wall and the cross-flow are some newer booths compared to the downdraft, but they work very well for what we need. We also, on the other side, I'll show you, have a smaller booth. So we do have 4 different spray environments here at the college that we can use. They're all supplied with fresh air masks, so when the students are spraying, they can't use charcoal respirators. They do need to use the supplied air masks for when they're doing any painting or priming processes. One of the things that we're asking for in the grant is some exhaust system for our air compressor. When the air compressor is running, it actually makes a very loud noise in the lab. And labs are loud anyway, but the compressor, once that thing kicks on, like it did now, it makes it really hard for us to talk and communicate over the noise. So as you can see, the noise from the air compressor is real loud in here. They have it exhaust into the lab rather than up out through the ceiling. So one of the things I would like to do if we would win the grant is get the exhaust for that out through the ceiling, so it'd make a much quieter environment in here. The other things we have a couple hoists like that this Ford truck's on. We have a separate tool room to keep our tools clean and so on, and a classroom over in the back for the students to eat lunch and spend some time, be on the computers, all data and things like that when they're in there. With our tool room, we also are asking for a self-piercing rivet gun. We do have an aluminum station, which works great. We don't get into a lot of the aluminum F-150s and things like that yet, but I think it'd be an advantage for us to have the equipment now, so that when that does get our first ones in, we're able to start working on those vehicles right away. The self-piercing rivet guns with the cost would be a major equipment item through our budget, and it does take a year for any budget process to roll over. Plus, it's still got to get approved at that time. So if we would start getting those type of vehicles in, we would need to go through that process and wouldn't even be able to work on them till we get that equipment. What we'll do now is go from the refinishing side of the lab over to the metal side of the lab, and I'll take you in through there to show you some of that equipment and some of that space also. On the metal side of our lab, it is nice. We got a doorway and they are separated so that once they get into the refinishing side, we don't have any heavy metal work and body filler work and stuff needed to be done over there. We do have a small booth over here. It's a parts booth. We can spray jam parts, spray small items, things like that on a vehicle prior to moving them over for the finished product on the other side. We also have our frame rack. We have the where the students use the Genesis system to do the measuring. They have to go through that whole process. But you can see, having the metal side and the refinishing side, we do have to move vehicles back and forth quite often. It seems to never work out that we've got just as many on one side as the other. So one of the other items I'm asking for in the budget is a power pusher. I know it's an optional item through the foundation, but it'd work out great. We have to move everything outside and over as we do it. We do have a small slope outside, so in the winter it's a little more treacherous to try to push vehicles. And it's also taken students away from their work on the projects they're working on to have to help push a vehicle over to the other side or back and forth from one side of the shop to the other. So the power pusher would be a great benefit in that process. So the exhaust for the compressor is one of the biggest items that we're asking for to try to quiet that down. Also, the power pusher, like I said before, to move cars and back and forth would be great to have that opportunity. And then a self-piercing rivet gun to work on the aluminum vehicles once we get that opportunity. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your consideration of us for the Education Foundation grant. I hope you enjoyed the shop tour that we've given you. And again, I'd really like to say thank you for everything the foundation does for us with everything they give. We really appreciate it. It sure helps us turn out a better quality technician once the students are done and go out and get a job in the real world. So thank you very much.